And this is the first sociocultural screencast, and the first topic we're looking at is physical activity. So we're going to look at, first of all, physical activity. So we'll look at some statistics. 37% of men and 25% of women achieve levels of activity which is recommended by the Department of Health. So it's clearly visible that people do physical activity, actually the minority in the UK. So we're going to cover these areas. So obviously physical activity has health benefits. What are the recommended amounts of activity? What barriers do young people face that stop them doing physical activity? And then what other factors contribute to inactivity? And then we'll look at this, what's called the physical activity umbrella. So what does physical activity actually encompass? So first of all, clear definition. What is physical activity? Well, physical activity is anything that gets the body moving and the heart pumping harder than at rest, which is that's a crucial term. The heart is beating faster than it would do at rest. The umbrella term for physical activity encompasses play, physical rec and outdoor rec, PE and outdoor education, and sport. As we move down through these, the levels of seriousness, organisation and structure increase. So play could be considered something very spontaneous, whereas sport at the other end of the scale is highly organised, highly structured, that follows national governing body rules. And it's crucial that we understand the differences, which we'll learn later on in the syllabus. So what does physical activity encompass? So if it's anything that's increasing the heart rate above rest, then it could include walking upstairs, doing the housework, and we have to consider how vigorous something is to increase the heart rate. So we have a visual representation of this umbrella term. Physical activity would sit at the top here, with play, physical rec, outdoor rec, physical education, outdoor education, and sport. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, the levels of seriousness, organisation and structure increase as we move along the umbrella. So what is exercise? Well, exercise within physical activity is planned and it's structured physical activity. It requires effort and it's aimed at improving health. So something that has high amounts of vigour, energy and drive, so it can encompass going to the gym, for example. And then we have the key term, components of a healthy balanced lifestyle. So a healthy balanced lifestyle is a lifestyle that has an equilibrium amongst these components, or a balance of these components. So a nutritious diet, rest and sleep, free time, we have good personal hygiene, we have injury and illness prevention, we have control of stress, we have good hobbies and social life, physical exercise, and we have positive relationships. So far the key terms that we've covered and the key definitions which we would need to get down in a table to revise is physical activity is any activity that increases the heart rate above rest. Physical exercise is planned and structured physical activity. Healthy balanced lifestyle, a definition needs to include the term equilibrium, which means balance between those components of nutrition, rest and sleep, etc. Then we've got two new terms, lifelong physical activity and lifetime sport. We need to know the clear difference here. We know what physical activity is, where it's any activity that increases the heart rate above rest. So therefore, we're thinking of something that's going to last and be able to be done during a whole life. And actually, it's got to be different from sports. So therefore, something like walking, will be considered a physical activity, or jogging or yoga perhaps. Whereas a lifetime sport is a sporting activity which can be continued throughout a lifetime. So obviously we need to use our common sense here, and we do not need to be thinking about contact sports, e.g. rugby. We need to be thinking of things like badminton, swimming, squash, sports that have a low impact or that can be played at a senior level. So it's crucial that we know the differences there between these two. Let's look at the benefits of regular participation in physical activity. Now, it's crucial that in an exam we could be asked about the benefits of physical activity in a short answer question. So we need to know the four categories. Because it was a 4-mark question, we would need to pick one from each category, to enable us to gain 4 marks on the mark scheme. So we couldn't pick 4 from physical, for example. So we've got physical or physiological benefits, so reduce the risk of disease or improve the CV system. We've got the mental benefits, e.g. stress relief. We've got the social benefits of having positive relationships, and we have the personal benefits, e.g. self-esteem, which is another term for self-confidence. So it's very much, let's think about the physiological benefits, and you could possibly write down 5. We already had improving the CV system. If we improve the efficiency of that, we would therefore improve the efficiency of the respiratory system. We would develop muscle tone via the means of hypertrophy of the muscles, and so on. So try and think of 5. Alright, that you've got 5 to draw on. So according to BUPA then, the risk of heart attack or stroke are about the same for adults with a sedentary lifestyle, as well as for those that smoke. Now, a sedentary lifestyle, if we were to define sedentary lifestyle, is inactivity. Alright, and it's inactivity where people do less than 30 minutes of activity per week. So it's crucial to remember that. So 7 out of 10 adults in the UK are classed as sedentary. It's a cultural thing that begins in early life. And it's very much we move to an urban society. Modern living, modern technology has affected our lifestyle. Computers have become an exercise distraction. Progress society has made means we do less exercise. So these are very much lead to negative consequences for a sedentary lifestyle. The Department of Health, whereas a sedentary lifestyle is less than 30 minutes of activity, physical activity per week, the Department of Health says to be healthy we should be exercising 30 minutes of moderate exercise 5 days a week. Now we know exercise is structured and planned from the definition we saw earlier, so a moderate exercise is us exercising but being able to breathe normally and have a conversation. Alright, so we shouldn't be exhausting ourselves. And children are said to, the Department of Health said children should exercise for at least 60 minutes each day. So what stops people participating, and especially young people? Well, we've got 5 areas here that prevent young people from activity. A feeling of inertia. What that means is the feeling of you can't be bothered. We prefer to do something else. People are self-conscious with regards to self-esteem issues. Might dislike sport, or they're no good at it. And also we have an inequality of experience at primary school, so the experience of playing sport at primary school was particularly poor, or there wasn't much variety, therefore put them off sport. And this also links to disliking a sport. You could have had a poor experience of physical education, for example, that puts you off activity in later life. Key words when we look at barriers, which will come up later in the syllabus, are 3 key terms: opportunity, provision, esteem. Opportunity is based on the chance to do something which relates to our status, i.e. our socio-economic status, our class, our wealth, what we can afford to do, and so on. Provision is about whether something is on offer. Are there facilities in the local area? Is there coaching available? For example, if you're a female playing football, are there female or women's football teams in the local vicinity? If there's not, then that's going to make your chances of playing even less. And esteem, our self-confidence, and this is how we feel that others perceive us, and how we feel we are viewed.